I have a question for you. What is one website that almost every single business owner in the world has visited? Can you guess? I'm not going to make you wait for it. It's Google. All right, good old Google. And in today's episode, I'm going to dive in on how to use Google as part of your strategy to create more content for your business, but content that your audience is craving and asking for. And lucky for you, you're in the right place. Let's jump into today's episode. Hey, I'm Angela Doyon, and this is the Creative Marketing Show, the podcast for ambitious women in business looking to cut the BS, stop dancing for likes, and learn to create honest and genuine marketing strategies that don't cause burnout and overwhelm. Think of me as one of your friends that's here to support you and cheer you on while keeping you up to date with all the latest marketing trends and inspired actions you can start to implement into your business. Let's dive into a new episode. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into the show. I'm excited to bring this episode to you. This was a conversation I was having inside my membership, and it was really about content creation, and it's something we're always talking about. It's a question I get a lot of how to create content. What do you do when you're running out of fresh ideas? So I thought it was really important to make an episode out of it because this is a really, really simple strategy that you can implement in minutes, and it can get you a month's worth of content. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I don't like empty promises. I don't like any bullshit tactics. So this is going to be really simple and something that you can start right away. And the best part is it's using a free tool. So it's not going to cost you anything and it's not going to take a lot of time. If you're tuning in right now and you're sitting at your desk, I suggest just grabbing a notepad, pen, paper, whatever you've got handy. Or if you're out on the go, make sure you come back to the episode. But you'll probably remember this because it's just a few simple steps. And the first thing that I want you to do is just consider the overall niche or industry that you're in. It's kind of the starting point, the top tier of the pyramid. What is your business? And I'm going to use an example to kind of walk you through the steps. Let's say your business is a natural or handmade bath and body company. You create things like bath salts, bubble baths, lotions, creams, all of that. But the kind of general industry or business you run is a natural handmade bath and body company. So think of what yours is. From there, what are kind of the subcategories of your business? These could be specific offerings that you offer. So with this example, let's say some of those keywords, those things that really differentiate you or to help describe what your offer is. For this example, it could be handmade soap. Very, very simple. What are some of the ailments or things that your products or your services help with? In this example, maybe it's dry skin. That could be one example. I want you to think about what those subcategories are for your business. And if you can, try to come up with 4. I would challenge you to do 4. I know that you can come up with 4. I don't run a bath and body company, but I could come up with a dozen kind of subcategories. So I've already mentioned handmade soap, dry skin, natural bath ingredients, maybe some of the actual ingredients. So eucalyptus soap or bath time ritual, because I know that is where my customers would be using my products. So that's where I want you to go with this exercise. Once you have these all down, this is where Google comes into play. I want you to take those subcategories and start plugging them into a good old Google search. So I'll continue with this example of the Bath and Body Company. I typed into Google eucalyptus soap. Now, as it generates the search, I'm going to scroll down and there is a section that is called People Also Ask. This is the tool that you can use over and over again. Every time you're trying to create new content, whether it's for Instagram or you're writing your email newsletters, you're creating pins for Pinterest, I want this to become a part of your strategy because it works and you're actually getting the information that your clients and customers are looking for because they're searching these questions. I'm looking at my results right now for eucalyptus soap, and here are some of the things that people have also asked. What is eucalyptus soap good for? I can think of a great piece of content to answer that question. Is eucalyptus safe in soap? That could be a content piece that you could cover. Is eucalyptus soap good for acne? Oh, that's a whole nice topic that you could really niche down and focus on. Is eucalyptus good for body wash? As you tap on some of these questions, you're going to be able to generate more results, and it's going to populate so many more questions that people have already put into Google search, and then you can create content that answers those questions. I know what you're thinking right now. You're probably smiling, going, no way. But yes way. Again, it's just so simple. I often find we overcomplicate things, and I'm all about strategy. You know, if you've been tuning into the podcast, it's not about the vanity metrics. We want to create content that's going to resonate with our audience, our clients, our customers. So let's go right to the root and find out what it is they are looking to know. What can we educate them on? How can we make this a part of our strategy? Now, going back to the strategy portion, so I just came up with 3 or 4 pieces of content just based on that one keyword of eucalyptus soap. But I had come up with a dozen other versions of that. So when we talk about strategy, wanting to be a little bit more consistent, not trying to figure out, oh, what am I going to share or post this week? If you can do this every week and just choosing 4 topics that fall under your overall top of the pyramid business niche industry that you're in, and pull 3 questions for each. Now, I'm not the best at math, but I can do simple math. If you do that for 4 pieces and you're finding 3 questions that you can answer and create content around, right there is 12 pieces of content. If your strategy is to try and post 3 times a week, right away, you've just created a month's worth of content. And of course, I will take this one step further. Don't just focus on one social media platform. I want you to utilize this content and start putting it into your email newsletter. Maybe you want to get started with Pinterest and you can start pinning these as well, directing traffic back to your website. I am sharing a new episode next week that is all about repurposing. It's going to be, reduce, reuse, recycle type of vibe. So make sure you tune in next week, because that's where I also want to focus on not always creating fresh content. The opportunity to repurpose in different ways is just as valuable, and you're not going to feel like you're repeating yourself over and over and over again. So make sure you tune into next week's episode on that. To recap this episode, make sure that you can list out some keywords or some general topics that are related to your industry and your niche and your offering. If you can write out like 10 to 12 of those, you're going to find so much inspiration by plugging those into Google and just looking up what other people have asked about that topic. And then there you go. Start implementing that in a creative way. It could be through Reels, it could be through a carousel, a post, a Pinterest pinned, part of your email marketing. I know a lot of people have mentioned to me, I don't know what to say in my email newsletter. Well, this is a great opportunity. Even if your audience haven't thought about these questions, if they relate to your industry, they might think, oh, that was actually really helpful, and I know that I need this in my life. And it also asserts you as the expert, that you know what you're talking about, that you can educate on your product or your services and help your audience. That's what it should be about. Obviously, we want to sell our products, we want to sell our services, we want to grow our business. This is just one piece of the tool that can help you with that growth in a very honest way that supports the needs and requests of your audience, clients, and customers. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Like I said, next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about repurposing content. And if you haven't left a rating or review for the show, I am putting that ask out there. It does help me grow and reach more business owners like you. You can head over to Apple Podcasts, search Creative Marketing Show, scroll down, and there's an opportunity to leave 5 stars and your review of what you think. And I read every single one of them, and it really helps me, feel inspired to come back to the mic every week. Mind you, I would do it anyway because I really love it. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. And you can find me on Instagram at Creative Marketing Show or angela.s.doyon. In those links in bio, there are other opportunities that you can connect with me in the membership or on a one-on-one basis. But I hope that you listen next week and enjoy the show. I never really know how to end the episode. I feel like I sound like such a dork. Anyway, have a great week.